Hello, everyone, and welcome to another incredible episode of Empowered Conversations, where I have amazing conversations with extraordinary people who are out doing beautiful things in the world in service to others and all around just living their best lives. And guys, let me tell you, I know you've heard us talking about this ultimate quantum retreat. All of my guests the past several weeks, including my one today, are speakers at our Ultimate Quantum Retreat. Right now until April 15th, the tickets are only $295. We only have a few seats of in-person tickets left. It's going to be so exciting. Where else can you receive 13 speakers over 3 days, daily meditations, interaction with 13 different coaches, raffles, freebies, all kinds of prizes, and just an incredible up-leveling conscious experience for only $295. Come on, guys. And even if you're not able to travel all the way to Tucson, May 3rd, that weekend of May 13th to the 15th, we have Zoom tickets available. I'm not quite sure how many Zoom tickets we have left, but guys, there's no reason whatsoever for you to miss out on this incredible event with myself, my guest today, Marco Governali, Yogesh Kapoor is flying in from Indonesia. We have, light worker Christina. She's a Reiki master. She's coming in, from the western part of the United States. We have people flying in from Canada. We have people flying in from Nigeria. It's going to be wonderful. So guys, with that being said, there's a link to get your ticket and join our glorious event within the description of this Empowered Conversations episode. Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest. His name is Marco Governali. All right. Now, my phone needs to go on silent. Marco temporarily dying after a horrific car accident at the age of 12, he experienced his first encounter with the esoteric. Then, at the age of 22, he moved from Italy to Canada, where he was contacted by his spirit guide, Seth. This 7-year-long interaction left him with a very heightened ability to sense folks and a marked clairvoyance, but above all, a clear understanding of how the universe works, what God really means and is, creation, life's purpose, life after death, and last but not least, a clear understanding of the much coveted but greatly misinterpreted law of attraction. He's actually considered Dr. Law of, a contraction, Dr. Law of Attraction. As a 58-year-old entrepreneur, over the years, Marco has owned several conventional type businesses. In the last decade or so, however, more and more, his passion has shifted toward the esoteric, culminating with a book he published in August 2017. We'll ask him all about that book. I'm so excited to learn. Within 30 hours from release, the book became a #1 bestseller. In the last few years, Marco has been focusing on further enhancing his own understanding of the subject he loves, eagerly enrolling in every course and seminar he can find. And I know what that's like. Coaches need coaches. I'm constantly enveloped in some form of life. How more can I transform myself, my life? What more can I be and offer to the world? Besides being an accomplished musician, Marco holds 2 PhDs, is a certified Reiki master and healer, and a life spiritual coach and a motivational speaker. Well, all right, guys, drum roll, please help me in welcoming Marco Governali.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, Marco. How are you
Thank
doing?
you for having me here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. I can hear you perfect. You're
Perfect.
a little blurry. You're
Uh,
not very clear. Maybe you need to adjust your camera.
there is no adjustment. It's supposed to be autofocus.
Yeah, it's a look, just a slight bit out of focus. Christina's with us today. She says, blessings, amazing, and welcome.
Is that better?
Um,
No. Let me
yeah,
see.
you're just a little blurry.
Let me see.
Maybe there's some. There you
There you
go.
go.
That's all we needed.
It
That's
was
all
just
we needed.
a fingerprint, I guess.
Yeah, fingerprint. I know. I'm surprised I don't have my fingerprints everywhere.
All right, all right.
So, oh
Beautiful,
my
beautiful.
gosh. Yes, so
Thank you
excited to
so
have
much
you here,
for having me.
Marco.
Thank
Such
you.
an honor to have you. And I know that you're 1 hour ahead of me, in Canada, joining me today.
2 hours
Oh,
behind you.
2 hours. Oh, okay. So it is
Behind
11.
you.
Yeah, so it's 11 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So let me adjust my camera a little bit. So, I love to get really deep. Like, I know part of your story about that almost, or like literally dying experience when you were 12.
Mhm.
Incorporated with that, what all have you been through, persevered through, come on the other side of? Oftentimes, us as light workers or I call them, empowerment coaches, leadership, inspirational coaches. Like, there's some form of something that we've experienced in our life to where we just like a fish flop out of water. We're like, coming through
Yeah,
it like boom, an epiphany moment that enabled us to want to be on this path and inspire and empower others.
absolutely. So, my accident at age 12 was just a big, very bad accident.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I know I temporarily died is because I all of a sudden, when the car rolled over and it landed with its roof on top of me, because I was getting out of school, uh, immediately, without even realizing it, all of a sudden I found myself looking down from about 25 feet up in the air, and my body was under the car. So
Mm-hmm.
I was up there doing all the thinking, and I was observing another one of me down there
Mm-hmm.
under the car.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the what initiated this whole thing. It is true, however, that I had a very different childhood, but that's another story. Um, so from 12 to about 16 years of age, I was basically busy getting well because at first they were going to cut my legs off. Then they decided not to. I mean, if they cut my legs off, it would have been a 1 month hospital stay done. You have no
Right.
legs.
Right.
But thank God, the one of the doctors decided to try and save my legs. This, however, involved 3 major surgeries and 3 total body cast, 9 months each. So, in other words, I was in a total body cast from here to my toes, 9 months, then
Mm-hmm.
another 9 months, and another 4 months. So, thank God, for as difficult as I was, I have my legs. They're a little mangled. One is a little shorter than the other, but I have my legs.
Right.
Okay, so once I got out of all that rehabilitation, which basically I'm now 16,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a wheelchair for a while. I walked with crutches for a while. Still
Mm-hmm.
today I'm limping, but at least I have my legs.
Right.
Once that was all over, being a teenager, you start chasing the girls, you start buying the motorcycle, buy the car. This I forgot all about it. Forgot all about it.
Right. So you just started living your life.
Living my life. As a matter of fact, because of the rehabilitation, months and months of the rehabilitation, my legs became so strong that I actually ended up joining a bicycle racing team. Go figure.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
the total opposite. So then, of course, at age 23, I moved to Canada. And I have forgotten everything about that accident. It was a far memory.
Mm-hmm.
And as I moved to Canada, I bought a business, automobile business, and I make a really good friend. A customer of mine becomes a really good friend.
Mm-hmm.
We get together basically every single day. He lived close by. Every single day comes to visit, and we talk. We just can't seem to be able to stop talking about the higher things, the
Yeah.
universe, creation, what is God, what is not God, all these things. And then after about 6 months of doing so, like it was almost like I looked forward every day for him to come and bring me a coffee in the afternoon. and just talk and talk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, we went for hiking 2 days before, and he gives me this book, which I have it right here. This book right here. This exact book right here.
Yes. Seth
Seth Speaks,
Speaks. Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Eternal Validity of the Soul. It says, Marco, I think you're going to like this book. Thank you, I said, Tom. And 2 days later, his son Glenn, instead, his son Glenn, at the time so at the time I was 23, Tom was about 45,
Mm-hmm.
very good health, hiker, prospector. His son, who at the time was about 18, and walks into my office instead than Tom. And something very strange happened, because as soon as Glenn opened the door, something just came out of me without me realizing. And I said, "Oh, hi, Glenn." I said, "Oh, your father died." I just, it came out of me. And oh my God, I says, I'm sorry, Glenn. I says, what? I apologize. And he looks at me, he says, Marco, my father died last night. So now I'm like blown away. What are you talking about? Your father died? Are you serious? Yeah, Mark, we had a massive heart attack in his sleep last night. But we were together 2 days ago. He wasn't perfect. I know, Mark.
Right.
Nobody knows what happened. Anyways, I was shocked. I was shocked because, number one, I lost my best friend all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
45 years of age. Number two, I'm thinking, once Glenn left, I said, wait a minute. This is not normal. He gives me this book, and then for no reason whatsoever, he drops dead. This is when I realized there were bigger forces orchestrating this whole thing.
Right.
So I says, well, the only thing I can do is I got to read this book, because
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So from the very night, I started reading this book. And the strangest things that happened in that very moment, as soon as I picked the book and started reading it,
Yeah. Show us the book again, because we've had a couple more people pop on. Seth Speaks.
The Eternal Validity of the Soul.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, it's full of marks. And anyways, as soon as I start reading this book, something happened inside. I start getting this hot energy, as if I were very excited but very relaxed at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I read it. I think the first night I read like 50 pages, just couldn't put it down, because every page it was like, I knew this, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
Did I write this book? Like, why is this book telling me my life story? And that
Right.
very night was, of course, my very first out of body experience,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which I never had before, as far as
So
I'm concerned.
you don't consider you having an out of body experience when you temporarily died at 12?
Uh, yes, but that was different though. That was the body being temporarily dead, and me, the soul, which that is what we are. We're the soul. We're not the body. The body is just a car.
Mm-hmm.
When my car died temporarily, me, the driver, got out of it, deciding what to do. Rita, Seth is a spirit guide who's responsible for dictating this series of books in the 60s and 70s through Jane Roberts, a medium whom died several years ago. Seth is
Isn't
being,
Ask and It's Giveth, the Abraham, isn't
yes.
that Seth as well? Doesn't Oh God, what's her name? She channel Seth as well?
No, she's Hester Hicks.
Esther Hicks.
Okay, well, let me tell you the story briefly about Hester. Hester started her work um, with spirit guides when, because Seth is considered the grandfather of the very first one,
Mhm.
whom came into the open and start helping people and giving this information. Hester at first was reluctant, because Hester comes from a religious background.
Mhm.
Because you see, Jane Roberts, when she channeled Seth, she went into a trance, because we do it different ways. Some people do it automatic reading, some people of writing, some people go into a trance. So Jane made all kinds of funny faces and all kinds of all kinds
Mhm.
of funny, hypnotic. So Hester was scared of this. And
Okay.
so at the same time, though, she was starting to receive a lot of information from her higher self.
Mhm.
And so she said that she was caught in between a rock and a hard place. She wanted to know more, but she was scared of doing the same thing Jane did. And so Seth made a deal with her that she actually admitted later on, there's videos on YouTube, to come through her in a not as Jane did, but through a kinder spirit, if you like.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Yeah,
so
I've seen some of her YouTube. Yeah.
Abraham is
Mhm.
actually a spin-off, is a branch from Seth. Seth is the only one, to be honest with you. Bashar is the same.
Mhm.
Seth is the main one. But
Okay.
then it branches off,
Yeah.
and I'm told 2,000 branches, where people use these branches anyway. They customize it to their own liking. For example, when he appears to me, he
Mhm.
looks like my grandfather. You
I
see?
mean, all this makes sense. You know, because we all have our
But I also
own
saw him
perception.
one time. I think I caught him by surprise. He already was there in the classroom, because usually I would materialize in this classroom and then he would walk through the door and start teaching me stuff. But that time, this one time, I found him in the classroom and he actually looked like a gray alien.
Okay.
And
That's
then all of
hilarious.
a sudden, he just changed to the set that I knew.
Yeah.
And now, of course, to scare the hell out of me, because I said, what I mean, are you an alien? I says, what are you? I said, Marco, I can be whatever you want. And Seth is very funny. He says, would
Mhm.
you like me to be a chicken? He says, I can appear any way you want. I'm appearing as such because you can relate to me. Because
Mhm.
it did resemble my grandfather a lot.
Mhm.
Same, Anyways, so this is what happened with Hester Hicks, basically. So she's channeling Seth, but through
Through
Abraham, which is
Abraham.
more of her customized just for her, basically.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And
S
so, I mean, once this started, this nightly out of body experiences, and then of course at first I was scared out of my wits. I mean, I grew up in Italy in a semi, not super religious, but we
Mhm.
live close by to a church. I mean, I grew up thinking it's God and the devil, you know
Right.
and this
Right.
ongoing
I grew
battle.
up the
Never
same way. Grew up the
e-
same way.
exactly. So you have to kind of put that aside first, then throw it all away, understand it's man-made,
Mhm.
you know uh,
100%.
whether it's some of it's to control the masses, some is out of ignorance, or combine the both together, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I call that elementary school of life. It's necessary, but you need to get to high school eventually. You
And
can't
college. And
in
then get a
college.
master's degree.
You can't stay stuck in elementary school
Yeah,
forever. So this
exactly.
is where we are.
Yeah.
Once you start wanting to know more,
Mhm.
because you see, this one thing we need to really understand: the universe slash God, because God is the universe,
Mhm.
has no rush. As a matter of fact, God doesn't even have a watch or calendars. God has all the time in the universe because it is the universe.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard when a student is ready, the teacher will come?
Oh, absolutely.
So it is you that must show
Mhm.
that you are ready to know more. And how do you do that?
And we are both the master and teacher.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. So how do you do that? How do you receive more information? One, you can simply ask, because
Mhm.
believe it or not, God understands English and all languages. So you can simply ask, and or you also by what you do and what you read and what you watch on TV. So if you're reading this type of books, or if you show interest, if you the documentaries you watch on TV, you know, you are given more of the same, of course, because of the
100%.
law of attraction. So if you're watching mm, wars,
Right.
then you're going to see more of them.
Right.
If you're watching spirituality, more spirituality is going to be served onto you, because you are master of the law of attraction.
Yeah.
You are the universe, and you yourself, you the higher self, mirrors back to you, the human,
Mm-hmm.
what you are looking for.
100%.
Really as simple as that.
And we talked about that the other day, you Yogesh and I, when we talked about the concept of perception. And one of my favorite things that you said was that we are always creating. God always says yes, and
Absolutely.
you can't go, oh, I don't want to create today. You're always, always, always creating your life, and and it's like this. We could call like subconscious. I like for a term that's easy to understand, or subconscious mind. So just imagine your subconscious mind is the driver behind the wheel. And then you're the physical, conscious driver, holding on to the wheel, but your subconscious mind is telling you where to go, left or right. So if you want something different, you have to reprogram, in essence, the subconscious mind. And that happens when you do open yourself up to answering these questions. If I'm watching, you know, Netflix, and what I'm
Mhm.
watching is violent or
Yes.
or sexual or
Yes.
hilarious or
Yes.
or creative, then it seems that more and more and more of that shows
Absolutely.
up, that mirrors again what's driving the car.
And
Hey
it's not.
Yogesh, hey John,
Hey, Yogesh. Hey, Christina.
and
John.
John,
Thank
yeah,
you, guys. It is not by chance that YouTube and Google and Facebook works much in the same manner.
yeah,
Have you noticed YouTube, if you're watching, let's say, sports
mm-hmm,
clips, more sport clips would be served onto you. It's the same
mm-hmm,
thing. The
mm-hmm,
one thing which I really care about us understanding, and I believe that the biggest price of all, the biggest reward of all, is the realization that the law of attraction is not something we need to learn
mm-hmm,
or study or buy books or, I mean, yeah, we can watch all kinds of seminars and you're not
mm-hmm,
going to get any farther ahead. If we simply understand that the law of attraction is not an option or a choice, it is simply the way your life works. In
mm-hmm,
other words, you're already using it.
mm-hmm,
Most of us don't realize it.
mm-hmm,
And then we go and buy all kinds of seminars or books or whatever to learn the law of attraction.
mm-hmm.
These seminars and books are good, of course.
Yeah,
There must, because we show you different ways of how it works and how you can make it even more powerful. But it would be like teaching you to eat. You're already eating automatically. You don't realize that you already know how to eat.
mm-hmm,
But then we can teach you how to eat better. We can teach you a better diet, better nutrition. So this is where these seminars, which are very important, come into play, where we can show you how you are using it and you don't even realize it and become a master of it. But you're already using it because it is not optional. You
mm-hmm,
already are inside a creator, hence you are a mini creator, and the only tool you have is the law of attraction.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love that. That's why they call you the doctor of law of attraction. Dr. Law of Attraction, how you doing today? I'd like to schedule an appointment with the Doctor of Law of Attraction, 3:30 Wednesday. See ya. so, and obviously at the retreat, this is what you're going to be speaking about, is, sharing, and enabling others to really become the masters of their own, lives, realizing they have the power
Absolutely, it
to
is
create.
the switch, the paradigm switching from this has been done onto me and I'm a
Mhm.
victim of everybody else's
Right.
and the environment, versus no, I am creating this for myself, and
Hmm.
this is for a reason, whether
Hmm.
I'm aware of it or not. I am creating it onto myself. And so if I am the creator, I might as well learn to create good things instead of than just the random things. So this is what
Exactly.
we're going to be teaching.
And one thing that happened for me, when I started, this journey of the law of attraction, when I watched What the Bleep Do We Know, was the
Yes,
first like this type of documentary I watched. I think it was 2005. And it's amazing. Soon
yes,
thereafter came The Secret. And
yes.
I just remember, and then it was like, I learned the Silva method. Dr. Silva, act
Mind
as
Valley,
if
Mind
my,
Valley.
no,
Yeah.
this was before Mind Valley.
Ah, really? Wow.
Vision had not started Mind Valley. I don't think he started Mind Valley. in 2005. This was like 2005, 6. And I
Yes,
remember coming across the Silva method because I was in that state of wanting to
absolutely.
reprogram the subconscious mind, because I knew that there were certain things going on in my life that I didn't that they weren't bringing me joy. They were bringing me disappointment and heartache. And I'm like, no, I know that, okay, this is here for a reason, but I'm also creating it, and I won't create something different. And again, just by asking the questions and opening myself up was when, all out of nowhere, I mean, and the same, epiphany happened, when I sat down one day, because I grew up in the Southern Baptist, and, that, similar organized religion to Catholicism, with, you got the God and the devil. And then I sat down one day looking for answers, reading the Bible, and I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me with this shit. This is not God. This is man. And then all of a sudden, the Celestine prophecy. I
Yes,
found the book, The Celestine Prophecy, and my world, these blinders that I'd had on in this box that I had, had held myself in, all of a sudden now had fallen. And it was just like, and just the world, amazing, all the experiences. And then I went to Amsterdam and I started learning. It's like, wow, it's just amazing what opens up for you. And then
absolutely,
continues on this, because once the mind stretched by a new idea can no longer go back to its original dimensions. Once
absolutely.
once you see or read or experience, you know,
You're expanding.
yeah, you're expanding, and then just like I said, I always like to talk about the radio dial is tuned to a different station, tuned to a
Yes,
different channel,
to a
and then
higher frequency.
but your law of attraction, you're still, and then you're manifesting something completely different.
Exactly. But the one thing which we're going to stress at the seminar, at the
Hmm.
resort, is that not only is what we speak and what we read and what we watch, but also what mostly actually what we think.
Hmm.
In other words, there is no difference as far as the process of creation is concerned
Hmm.
between your spoken words and your thoughts.
Right.
Your
Hmm.
thoughts are actually, before you utter something, you first think it, hopefully.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but your thoughts are an ongoing chain of, believe it or not, creative process. This is the one thing which I really stress, and I'm really excited, and I can't wait to share with everyone, because if we understand that thoughts are objects, thoughts are the seeds of outer manifestation.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you should not worry about fixing what you manifest out there. What you should instead work on is what you are
Hmm.
thinking. You
Hmm.
cannot think that life stinks and then watch 100 videos on YouTube that life is beautiful, but
Right.
maintain that thought inside that life stinks.
Right.
It doesn't work that way, because thoughts are the root of all manifestation.
Hmm.
So the trick is to learn this piece of truth and modify it. And it takes time, because you cannot change
Right.
150 years, lifetimes, generational seeding, generational information. Because I think
Hmm.
about it, when a baby is born, it already has implanted information. It will learn new information in each lifetime through parents and through society. But a baby already has some inbuilt information from generations in the pineal gland.
Hmm.
So it doesn't mean that it cannot be changed. If you come from a series of generations where you always had a hard time, you lived through wars, perhaps you were, not financially sound, and you think that is your destiny, and you just keep on going, well, I'm destined. Well, that's the worst thing you can do. You
Hmm.
can undo even generational coding by
Right.
simply recoding slowly but surely what is implanted in your internal storage.
Hmm.
And the one positive thing is, which Seth told me many times, this is Marco, the one thing is that one positive thought has the power of 100 negative thoughts. So it
Hmm.
is it is not
Hmm.
that complicated to change the internal pre-coding that we all come with.
One of the examples I love to give about what you're speaking of specifically is the limiting beliefs that so many possess or carry around money. So there's this underlying subconscious belief that, like for instance, people who are wealthy are greedy or they're stingy or they're bad people. But
Yeah,
like, and then on the flip side, they're like, oh, I wish I had more money. I want more money. I want to go on vacation with my family, or I want to afford this, or I want to have this in my life. But when you think, oh, but yeah, all rich people are assholes, you're completely negating, because that's a feeling, that's an emotion tied to. So what you're doing is you're repelling the money that rightfully you deserve, so you can have that abundant life instead, in a way. And I love to change and say, okay, if you think that money's the root of all evil, or thoughts like that, and then you look at people who have money, who are billionaires, and you're like, oh, they're this and they're this. Instead, there are many people who are billionaires that are amazing, that are doing beautiful and
the
good and
vast
wonderful,
majority,
loving.
the
Yes,
vast
like
majority.
Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins. And if you don't, there are so many people out there that are doing good things. Focus on that, and once you, and then you develop an emotion that's tied to. There's a lot of good that comes out of financial abundance.
There are two reasons for this. Number one, ask yourself, why is it that most people who think wealthy people are bad
Hmm.
play the lottery?
Right? Yeah, 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 yeah,
So they want to
yeah.
be millionaires, but they hate millionaires,
Right, but
right?
yeah, exactly, and you're putting a dipole opposite from what you say that you want,
It doesn't
or
work. It
somebody
doesn't
who
work.
wants to be in a relationship with somebody who's this, and they do this, and they have that, but they're not being this and that, and doing this themselves for their
I
own
want
life
this, and that, but I
in a
am,
partner.
don't change me to don't ask me to change. But the other thing is that once you are on the other side of the fence, meaning financially secure,
Mhm.
you actually understand that there are no limits. Money is not something you need to compete for.
Right.
We're told when you're on this side of the fence
Mhm.
that you must compete for money, but in
Mhm.
reality is, once you go onto the other side, the wealthy side, you
Mhm.
understand that there are no limits, and
Right.
there's enough
Infinite.
wealth for everyone. As a matter of fact, we have enough resources and actual money right now on the planet for everyone to be super wealthy.
You just gave me cold chills. 100%.
It's just the system is designed as such.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you see, we keep on blaming the powers that be.
Right.
Do you know what's actually a fault here? It's the same people who hate or who dislike the wealthy people,
Who, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
who dislike the wealthy
Oh,
people.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
you see, a lot of people think
Yeah.
that you can have $100 million in the bank
Mhm.
and watch TV all day long, and
Right.
watch The Young and the Restless, or
My mom, my
Thousand
God,
Pound Sisters.
my mom and daddy love The Young and
You see,
Restless.
it doesn't work that way. It
Mhm.
doesn't work that way. You
Right.
must put yourself into the vibration, the frequency of
Yes.
whatever you want or whatever
Yes.
you wish. Don't say, I want to be rich, but I want to behave like a poor person. It, it,
Right.
it doesn't
I've been
match.
traveling the world and just like
Exactly. Exactly.
creating so much, the same thing
So
I'm doing now.
the universe mirrors back to you whatever matches your particular frequency at any given time. So don't play the lottery. You should instead raise your vibration,
Hmm.
and then allow and thank the universe for what matches that vibration. Because even
Yes.
if you accidentally win the lottery, you know
Right.
what happens, right?
Oftentimes they say that someone reverts almost, they become poor, or not necessarily poor, but
If
they,
your mindset is poor, and you
yes.
win $50 million, you will
Yes.
blow the $50 million. I mean, you realize you
Hmm.
can blow $50 million in one afternoon. You can buy a
Yeah,
yacht, right? But
exactly.
most people will lose the whole entire winning within 2 years. And not only that, they're going to be worse off because now they feel like really,
Right.
you know,
Depression, serious
depression.
depression.
So don't do that.
Right.
Raise your vibration and allow the universe, be
Yeah.
open, be grateful, and allow the universe to mirror back whatever matches your vibration. A lot of
Hmm.
folks make the mistake of, you know, I am single. I'm a single mother or a single father. I'm working at making $1,000 a month. I can barely make it. Why don't I find myself a wealthy boyfriend, and he's
Right.
gonna get me out of this situation?
Mhm.
Ain't gonna work. Number one,
Right.
a boyfriend is at a different frequency. Number
Mhm.
two, the communication just doesn't get through because you speak one language, they speak another language. You are needy. They are
Mm.
not. If
Mhm.
you are needy and you want a relationship because you need to get out of that situation,
Right.
you are being kept needy because
Right.
you are needy. So the universe means that you haven't got it. The universe only thinks in terms of now, not the future. So the universe sees you and it says, okay, he or she is needy and she hasn't got it. So we must keep her where she hasn't got it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
because you create whatever your now frequency is,
Mhm.
you just get more of the same. And that's the only thing that really we need to learn about the law of attraction is you always get what you have now, your
Mhm.
mindset. Not what you will have
Mhm.
tomorrow, what you have now,
What you
your
have
present
now
mindset.
at every moment, at every given
Every
moment.
moment
And
by moment by moment.
one of my favorite sayings relative to what you were just saying about, like, needing somebody is, "You want, 'I need you because I love you,' not, 'I love you because I need you.'"
Absolutely. And this love thing is so misunderstood.
Yeah,
You know,
most everything.
most of the times when someone tells you I love you, what they're actually telling you is you make me feel good.
Right, right,
In other
right.
words, I love you because you're giving me a good life, you're giving me happiness, you're giving me good sex, you're giving me so on and so forth. The
Mhm,
moment any of those components change,
mhm,
that love evaporates.
mhm.
And now they're taking you to court and hire a lawyer. Think about it. So
Yeah,
true love is when you love someone for who they are and you wish
right.
them the best, not because they are doing
Yes.
it for you. It's because you love them, not because they make you feel good.
Yes,
And
yes.
unfortunately, 95% of relationship, because this is my specialty, relationships. I do a lot of relationships. I know, and all I hear is, "Oh, he's doing this to me, and he's not doing this to me, and it's always to me, to me, to me, to me, to me.
Mhm.
It's always me. Wait a minute, what about them? What about them? What
Right,
are you doing? Yeah, but he doesn't do this for me, so I cannot do it for them. Really? How about you start doing it for them and see what happens?
right. Yeah, I mean, again, it's that same concept of you're wanting something from somebody else that you're not even willing to do or give for your own enriching of your own life. Be
Exactly.
who you want to attract.
Love yourself first.
Yes, love, yes, be what you want to attract. Be
Do not
who.
wait for somebody to make you feel loved. Or
Yes.
love yourself.
Yes.
When you love yourself first and
Mhm.
you are in
Mhm.
peace with yourself, you are reflecting an image and a frequency of I am in peace, I am in love, I
Mhm.
love, I don't hate, I love. So your present now projection is love,
Mhm.
gratefulness. What else is the universe going to give you?
Joy, joy.
Exactly. So what is the universe going to give you? The universe always mirrors back, no
Mhm.
choice. So
Right.
it's going to give you more things to be grateful about, more things to love. And of course, they're all good things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like what we said earlier. You're not just gonna wake up, today and go, "You know what? I don't feel like creating today."
You can.
You're
You
always,
can.
yeah.
You
Yeah. I mean,
can.
you could say that. Hey, Aaron. Aaron just joined us.
Hey,
Stephanie
Aaron.
McPherson. What's up, girl? How you do? Good to see you. So thanks for joining us. Yeah, like any other insights that you'd like to share? Um, yeah, because we've had several comments. It's what we're talking about making sense, guys. I know, based upon the comments we've received, that we certainly, we have people who
Thank
are
you.
like-minded and resonate with the same, very similar in vibration. And we have several that are, co-hosting the retreat. Um, and yeah. So are you on second day or third day?
I believe on the third day.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm first. Like
Oh, really?
Christina chose me because like she's like, you have such, high energy. We're gonna
Yes,
get you
you do.
we're gonna get everybody excited with you coming on first. And I'm doing like a cooking demonstration, which I might not be cooking, but I'm gonna be making something to share with everyone, in attendance. I'll have enough for everybody. It's gonna be de-fa-rickin-licious, y'all. De-fa-rickin-licious, just like my new cookbook. And but yeah, this is so exciting. We have a medium, we have Reiki, we have Dr. Law of Attraction, we have myself there for health and wellness and mindset. We have a men's empowerment
Oh,
coach. Like
so
we have a
much.
it's like a diverse plethora of phenomenalness that you'll be able to be inundated with. And imagine the vibration. Imagine like being so elated, that you're like, oh wow, my life, I'm so empowered and inspired to just have the best life and be the best person I can be. And yeah, Aaron, it is going to be fun and life
And
changing.
really, I mean, we could have done Christine, of course, is the organizer. We could have done this
Yes.
with two or three of us. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
think about this. Statistically speaking, anytime you go to a seminar or anything like that, you retain 30% the next day and 5% after 1 month. The
Right.
5% is distilled down into the best of the best. So this is why we're giving you 10, 12, 14 different angles so that you can
Yes.
retain the 5% of each one of us. Think about it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now 5 times 14 is a lot.
No.
You
Think it,
just don't
yeah.
listen to one person, you only get 5%. You see what I mean?
Right. Oh my God, I love that analogy. I love that analogy because again, it's that diversified array of total package of what
Yeah,
you're going to go home with.
because perhaps one speaker does not, you cannot relate to a particular speaker, but the other speaker is going to give you the same, because you guys, the topic is the same. It is the
Hmm.
law of attraction from different angles and perspectives and experiences. So
Hmm.
one speaker is going to give it to you from this side, the other side, the other side. So if you only retain a 5% of each, you end up with a very valuable package at the end. You're going to feel like
Absolutely.
a new person altogether.
I mean, we're all going to feel like new people too. God, I cannot wait to meet everyone in person. I mean, and we got a raffle going on. There's like daily freebies and giveaways. We're going to have every day like an evening meditation and just all being together, even outside of us speaking, being able to hang out and engage, and it's just going to be so much fun.
Just the energy itself. I mean, the place
Yes.
is going to be so positive, so energetic, so
Yeah.
just to be there and share this beautiful information with each other, just going to be amazing. Just amazing.
Yes, yes, John, we are all going to feel like new. Um, well, guys, yeah. So again, the Ultimate Quantum Retreat is taking place May 13th through the 15th. We only have a limited amount of in-person tickets available. I haven't gotten with Christine to see exactly how many we have left, but we do have a Zoom ticket option because we want to make it accessible for so many people to be a part of this all around the world. And, so even if you're not able to travel, we don't, we just, we're trying to make it as accessible and available to as many as possible.
And you guys, I'm going to bring only 20 of my number one best-selling book, and I'm going to sign it for you. And I can only put 20 in my, so
And
I'm
your
only going to have
luggage.
20. You can buy them at Amazon, of course. I have two of them,
Yes.
number one and number two bestseller. But I will have 20, and I will sign it for you if you meet me there, and I will be glad to talk to you and sign a book for you.
I love that. Oh, and talk about that. Because you were in 30 hours. Was it
Yeah,
God Always Says Yes, or what is it? The other one that
this one.
became, yeah, became
In
a best.
2017, I published this book here, and within 30 hours, I was blown away. My son calls me and says, "Dad, did you see a book?" No. I says, "I published yesterday." He says, "Did you see the classification?" I says, "Yeah, it was number 32,000 last night." He says, "No, it's number one." I said, "What?" So, of course. So this went number one immediately because I received the stellar by very famous critics in the United States. I mean, this one guy, Gary Harp, is considered the number within the 50 most credible book reviewers. So if he gives you even 3 stars, you wrote a very good book. But he gave me 5 stars and a very long review, like you must read this book. So this was the 2017 edition. Now this one went number 2 in 2021. But this book is actually better than this, because 4 years later, I myself learned so much more in depth, a lot
Yeah.
thicker also.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
and so here there's 10 times the information here, in a much more concise but expanded fashion. It went number 2 because I was number 1, and then this fellow dropped his price to 50 cents in order to take the number 1 spot. It doesn't matter. Anything
Yeah.
between 1 and 100, you're doing great. So I
Yes.
have 2 number 1 and two bestsellers. But if you ask me, the blue one, this one here, is a better book than, well, I know because I wrote them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for that. And so what he's saying, guys, is that he's going to have 20 copies
Yeah,
there, that he's going to sign in person. And I, as well, just became a published author with my cookbook,
beautiful.
D Frickin'licious.
Wow.
Healthy is delicious. And I am going to have, I don't know, I've only got like, I think 12 copies of this. This is that special edition Gold Star Standard. I've had like literally, I think it's like, maybe I have 12 copies left of this. But you can find this on Amazon as well. Amazon.com. You put D for Rickin'licious. You got to spell it just like that.
Beautiful.
And you can get it on Amazon, BarnesNoble.com. I highly suggest doing the hardcover as opposed to the softcover. I make no difference in commission, because it's such a nicer, better quality book.
Of course.
But I'm going to have, I'm hoping to bring at least 5 copies out there to sign in person too. And I'm giving one away. My raffle is I'm going to give one of my books away complimentary, my cookbook. So
That's a good idea. I'm going to give one away as well.
there you go. Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, just what a high vibration going on here.
Yes.
Steph. Yes. John Corbellini gifted Aaron cookbook. It
Thank
was, I
you.
was so excited for both of them to receive, because I mailed them out like about a week and a half ago. Everybody, according to all of my receipts here, has received it's been delivered. And I was just so excited because I was like, I kept like, because Aaron got hers after John got his. It's like a day or two later. But yeah, and I'm so glad. I know John was excited. He was talking about the portobello mushroom burger. Everything is delicious and it's healthy. And, most of it's gluten-free, keto, paleo, vegan, ultimate health. So, God, well, guys,
Thank you so much.
you are so welcome, Marco. It has been such an incredible pleasure. I love your smile. You have such great energy.
Thank you. You
Just
too.
it's childlike, it's little boy like, and that's such a beautiful essence that you have. And thank you for being here today, guys. Thank you for joining us. And hashtag replay. If you watch us on the replay,
Thank
sign up
you.
for our retreat, either Zoom or in person, guys. It's going to be so much fun, and you're going to
Uh,
walk away with just this like floating on air, a vibration about yourself. All right, guys,
Absolutely.
hold on one second, Marco. Everybody have a wonderful day.